everyone. I'm Sean the Baker, and this is episode number 50. I cannot believe I actually got to 50, and 50 is a pretty big number. So I suppose I thought I'd better get a bit of, pretty solid guest. So my guest today, he's a pretty talented painter. I did read that he's actually a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And if that's true, then Tim Bromley, when they're in New Zealand next, I think you better get him on the mats, I think. He plays bass in a band called Propagandi. Todd Kowalski, welcome to the Baker's Punk Podcast.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks for having me on the show.
Hey, Todd, we start up the show off with a location and weather report. Whereabouts do we find you in the world today?
We're in Winnipeg. It's hot,
It's hot.
kind of windy, and there's fires all over the place, so the sky is kind of orange.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because I did read that it does get pretty damn cold there, doesn't it?
Yeah, really cold. It gets minus 40.
Yeah. So what? Minus 40.
Yeah.
I can't comprehend that, eh? And so what do you call hot then?
I would say like this is hot, like plus 30 or
Oh
whatever.
yeah. 30 is warm. That's quite a big that's a massive change in temperatures, isn't it? That's like from one
Yeah,
extreme to, it's not just a little adjustment, it's quite a big adjustment.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah,
That's
we kind of
cool.
get it all here. It's kind of good that way though, keeps changing for you, so it's all right.
Yeah, no, it's it's better that in summer at least you're gonna get a tan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then you turn, or yeah, then it's all gone in the winter. That's for sure.
Uh, hey, Todd, we want to get into this, and I want to know the story that got you into this music. What were you listening to, and how did you come across this genre of music?
Um, I guess well, I remember hearing like punk when I was like a little kid, but I just thought it sounded like shitty, to be honest. But then I was in I was in junior high, and this kid in the hallway had a Dayglow Abortions tape. He just told me, "Oh, listen to this," and I was just put it like on his Walkman,
Yep.
and I was like, "Okay, that's awesome." And then it's like within a week or something, I traded a two Kiss record, or I think one Kiss record actually. I traded a Kiss record for the first MDC record and Exploited,
Oh wow. Yeah. And
two Exploited records.
yeah, wow.
Yeah,
Okay. So that was go then. You were trading. There wasn't any money passed. It was just like, oh yeah, we'll swap you.
yeah, and then obviously within, how it goes. Like then you start trying to find every band, and
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Yep. And I did see that you're in bands before Propagandi. So where did they all come into it?
Well, I guess the only one that anyone may have heard of, or I guess maybe two, but one was I Spy was like, yeah, I lived in Regina, like 5.5 hours from here.
Yep.
So we started a band, and those guys moved here. Yeah, we kind of played shows with Propagandi, and then did a split 10-inch. And
Yep.
then I guess the other band was kind of, while Propagandi was already going, this other band is kind of like a grind band called Swallowing Shit. And
Swallowing shit. I,
yeah,
I, I did have to listen to that the other day, and I was like, because I did have a little note, and I thought, swallowing shit, surely not. There's not a band called that. But that is pretty full on, isn't
yeah, we're just going for it. Yeah, it was fun.
it? And so what made you pick up the bass? Were you originally a bass player or were you a guitarist?
I played guitar, and then like I was friends with Chris.
Yep.
Like I Spy toured with Propagandi a couple times and did that split, and
Yep.
yeah, I lived with Chris, so like we were pretty good friends already, like yeah, and then yeah, Chris just asked me if I wanted to play bass for Prop. Yeah, we're just sitting there or whatever, eating
Yeah.
these We were just eating like vegan ice cream sandwiches. I was like, yeah, sure, okay, sounds good.
Oh yeah, I can
Yeah,
play. Oh, yeah,
I
suppose.
think, yeah. And at first, I think he was like, I think he said just fill in. So
Oh,
I was like,
okay.
oh yeah, sure, I can do that. And then, yeah, it just kind of kept going and going.
And then he go, oh, I suppose you might as well stay now. You're all right. You can, you can stay. You can stay.
Yeah, I can't remember really how the transition went, like from, like, I don't know. We were like, we weren't very, like professional minded, we were just
Yeah.
kind of just playing music and then having fun. So it's like whatever.
So so you're still classed as a fill-in bass player then, is that how it works?
Yeah, yeah, I don't know, yeah.
uh so you joined Propaganda in 97 and
Yeah,
and you would have toured a lot around, I suppose, doing Fat Records sort of stuff then. Um
yeah.
and then the first album after that was Today's Empires to Tomorrow's Ashes, because I've been on the Propaganda journey since the very very start. So
All right.
I'm from the word go. A good friend of mine, I can still I think I've said this in my podcast at the very very start. I can still see my friend showing me in the CD store. Oh look, this is another Fat band. I'm like, oh, Propaganda, how to clean everything. Oh, well, okay, well that's a bit weird, but anyway, vacuums and I like, but it started there and it sort of grew, with less talk, more rock, and then like I had mates going, oh, this is better than No Effects, and you had that sort of challenge as well, and then you come along and today's Empire, tomorrow's Ashes is a complete change to the first two albums. Do you think that your input on bass and your input in the band was a slight little change in direction?
I think so. I feel like, yeah, it kind of brought the enthusiasm to like play faster and it's a little heavier and I think mostly was like wanting to play well, like to kind of push ourselves, like to
Yeah,
play
yeah,
like a more like not intentionally or consciously,
yeah,
like just like let's try to just keep pushing this, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
yeah. And like it was. I think it was. I remember when I first heard this album. It was really weird. Um, and I actually didn't sort of click that it was Propagandy. I was
Right.
like, I was like, What? How's this Propaganda?" It was, for me, it was complete because I was a big, massive Fat fan. I had all the Fat albums, I had all that sort of stuff, and for me to hear that, because for me, it was quite a distinct change in direction. I was like, oh, okay, rightio, yep, and it did take me a little listen to go, okay, this is actually completely different to what I'm actually listening to at the moment. And that time at 2001, it was like, oh well, Propaganda, yeah, this is completely mind-blowing. How I think it was like a progressive sort of thing. And
Yeah.
I've talked a lot to, like, a lot of people in this podcast, and I think Propaganda's come up the most out of any band that I've talked to with my guests and friends,
All
and
right.
about being like the most progressive punk band in the world, because every time we hear something from you guys, it's that another step up. It's not, we're gonna hear Propaganda, but it's Propaganda and a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of the goal.
Yep.
You just yeah, keep changing and like
Yep.
like try to look at what may have been missing last time that could make it kind of cooler or I don't know. It's not quite so conscious, but like
Yep.
you just keep practicing your guitar and try to keep getting better, just like anything, I guess, hopefully you can make something even radder or
Yep. And like when you did today's Empire, was that, was you were still on Fat then, weren't you? So
yeah, yeah.
so so that would have been done with did you do that one for Ryan Green?
Yeah, Ryan. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. How was that working with
Good.
Ryan
Yeah,
Green?
he was a good, easy guy to record with. I liked him, and
Yeah,
so I think it worked. You know what I mean? And then just kind of we had a hard time with the mix and the mastering, and we went back and re-recorded one guitar because we didn't like the sound of it, and
yeah.
uh, uh, so it's kind of like a bit of a gong show, but I wouldn't really say that was Ryan's fault. It's kind of like us, and then we got it like just a couple years ago, got it remixed actually at the
I,
blasting room. And yeah, it
I
sounds way more killer. Like if it would have came out the way that it was like was remixed and that, it would have been pretty
bang.
people. It would have had like more, it was less muddy, murky, and like just clearer. I think
Yeah,
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 it really like what was there is just like it's cool that what was there, and when we got it remixed, it's like okay, we knew we fucking did that,
yeah, yeah. That was the final product we thought we would have got. That was probably in the mind. It's like Todd, I'm a photographer, and I always get this thing in my head of how it's going to look.
Yeah, yeah,
And you
exactly.
go to that point and you go, hang on a second, it looks like that, but it's not what I envisioned. Is that
Yeah,
sort of the same sort of thing?
well, I kind of felt like I felt like we knew we laid down something totally awesome, and then it
Yeah,
just kind of got lost in the mix.
yeah,
Uh, so in a way, we kind of felt like we had it there, and
yeah, yeah,
it was kind of like that's why we did it, just kind of lingers in your mind for a long time. Like, fuck, there's like some killer shit in there, like
yeah,
if we could just unearth it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And was that a whole band concept like thing when you were all stood around and went, hang on, we need to do something more with this album because it's missing the points of what we actually thought we would have done.
Yeah, I think, yeah, we're just kind of always like, I don't know, we're just, we always got something on the go, some strange little thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how
But
it was that time.
it's real fun, doesn't it? Because you're the most talked about band, but you're probably the most quietest band in this genre of music. Like I mean, we still see you do little social posts and stuff like that, but you're not popping new music every 5 seconds or every year or anything like that. So it's
Yeah.
for us fans and stuff. I think it's like we're all sitting here like waiting for that day where we're just going to get this this thing pop up that bang, there's a song
Yeah.
without
Yeah,
even any warning.
I feel like it's more fun that way, like
Yeah,
if bands are just crapping out records all the time and then you just look at them, you don't even know which record's which anymore. They don't have their own
yeah,
personality or time, or you
yeah.
know what I mean?
And with your writing and recording is a collaboration sort of thing. So do you all have like an idea and a skeleton of a song, and you'll go away and do your own thing and then come back, or is it you all sit in a room and just jam and go, that sounded good, let's do that?
We usually have like kind of like me or Chris will have like a skeleton of a song,
Yep,
and then we'll go jam and but together we'll jam it and rearrange it and play it so many times. Like we
yeah.
practice quite a bit, and
Because you're all in the
yes,
same place, aren't you? You're all in Winnipeg, aren't you?
yeah, we're in Winnipeg. Yeah, Chris just lives a couple blocks from me.
Oh, that's easy.
Jord used to, but he kind of, uh, yeah, he moved just a little bit away, so he
Yeah.
has to drive to get to us. But
Oh, yeah. So you just carry your bass around to Caruso's place, do you? Do you? Has he got a little studio there, or?
he does, but
Yep.
we actually practice like in a building, like that's not at his house.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
awesome.
we just kind of ride our bikes there and just start or whatever, however we get there
Bass,
in the winter,
bass on the
driving.
back,
Yeah,
scooting down the road.
yeah. So that's all we do, and then
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
we tend to like talk about every fail, every little thing. Fucking,
Yeah.
it's kind of like I think it's just what we enjoy doing, Like
Yeah.
we don't. we don't really get anything out of like not jamming, you know, like we're not. I think our music would be totally different if we weren't all together in the. It would be for sure. It'd be totally different if we weren't all in the same room jamming together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, because
Because
like
I,
well,
sorry, go.
like we have a chance to like really say like this, like can you hit this cymbal instead of that cymbal? Can you play
Oh,
that
yeah.
drum, that drum, or you know, like hit that instead of that, or just everything, you know?
Yeah. And then does Jord go, oh, can you just ping that string instead of that string? And
Yeah, I'm waiting for that day. Yeah, Jordy's really easy going. I think I
yeah.
always find it's one of the most beneficial things is like if you play drums yourself, is to just like realize or think that like the person who's making the song, like if they're saying something, there's kind of a reason a lot of the time for it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like Jordan has no ego about like his drums, you know? So it's so helpful because that you can say whatever and he'll do it and we'll like a lot of the times we'll be like, no, okay, go back to your old thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
a lot of the times the new thing, it's now a mix of everyone's input, you know what I mean? Like, can you do this and this? And then
Yeah.
it pushes him to do something different. A lot of times something new and interesting will come out and it'll
Yep.
be like a drum beat that's like three people's input, you know,
Yeah.
for
And
better
then you'd be
or
like,
worse.
how the hell did we get to this? You know, we were back there doing that, you know. That's
Yeah,
what,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
No. So who's the main lyricist? Is it do you and Chris?
Uh, I would guess it ends up being Chris just because he
Yeah.
makes more songs than me. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And you get to do lyrics on many of your own work or
Yeah, any song that I sing for
yeah.
yeah, any song that I've ever sang in my own lyrics. And
Yeah.
usually the skeleton of the riff is my own song, except for the song Impending Half Head on Potemkin was Chris's riffs.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Yeah. And then some of my riffs are in his songs here and there.
Yep.
Sometimes I don't know what to put over them. I'll be like, hey Chris, you want this riff? You know.
You're like, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, that was mine anyway. uh, um, and I do remember you guys advertising way back for a new another guitarist.
Yeah.
You know, that was a to me that was like Propagandi is advertising on social network for a guitarist. How insane was that? Was that like? Did you get like hammered left, right, and center and by people from everywhere around the world?
Yeah, there was like yeah, like hundreds of people.
Oh, it would have been. It would have
Would
been
give you a
mad.
number, but I don't want to be wrong and suddenly be a liar. But yeah, it was quite a few.
Well, I can imagine. Imagine like I'm not a I can play three. I can play three chords, Todd, if I'm lucky. And
Should have sent
uh,
your tape in because lots of the people who sent their tapes, that was their
oh
situation.
really? Oh, I should have sent it in. That would have been awesome. The but if you were you know a good player in an average punk band, you know, you would have had your hand up going, yeah, man, this is me. Because but it would have been so hard to narrow it down to someone that fitted the mold of Propaganda because Propaganda is not a punk band. You know,
Yeah,
because you guys have like an identity as that type of punk band, you know,
yeah,
and for me, I when I saw that, I was like, who's going to fit in with Propaganda? You can't have bloody Mark or Blank or any, you know, you can't have anyone stupid, you know. The process must have been mad.
yeah. I remember. Yeah, it's kind of. Yeah, I mean, you're just kind of watching people play, and of course, I would say like 90% of the people, like didn't quite have the picking down or something, or
Yeah, yeah. So
like
my
if you're looking for someone to really join a band with, like you want sort of evidence that they work hard and put effort in, you know?
yeah,
So like if someone's sending this is maybe also like just for like if you're ever sending your tape to a band, if this situation ever shows up, but like I think you want to put some effort into like what you're sending to the band, you know? Like you can't just say, "Hey guys, want to join the band? Here's my tape," you know, and then a tape where you know what I mean? Like where you half-heartedly play and you're quieter than the band, you know?
Yeah,
Like there has to, you know what I mean? Like you have to, because the band's looking like you need someone who's gonna like be ready to do this because like you know what I mean? It's for real. So
yeah,
uh
yeah,
like you have to present kind of like evidence that you can do it and you
yeah.
know and
And
yeah.
then in the process, did you get down to like a number of like five or three or two, and then go? And did you actually audition them live? How did?
No, we never really did. We just kind
Oh wow.
of yeah. There's I think there was like yeah, something like that, 3 or 5 people, something like such. And
Yep.
then yeah, and then yeah, we're just talking to Sue Lynn and yeah, I gave him a chance, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's been in the band since what, 2015?
Sounds probably nah, I think later than that. Maybe you're right. If that's the case, that's a long time. Holy shit.
Yeah, gee, it is a long time, isn't it? We're
Yeah.
getting
So
old.
yeah, we just wanted someone who would seemed easygoing and could fit in,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. And as you were talking before, because you guys are all in the same city, she's not in Canada, is she?
Yeah, Sue Lynn's from New York right now.
Yeah, yeah. So I suppose that, because I talk to a lot of bands, and I've talked to bands that they're not even in the same country. They've
Yeah,
got, and the way of today is with the internet and stuff. It's probably not as hard as it was way back when you first joined. You couldn't.
yeah.
Everyone, it worked out well that you're all there, but these days it's not a huge obstacle to jump. I mean, the only problem is you probably want to be doing a full band practice before you go on tour, and I suppose that's when she probably travels to you guys. Because how far away is it? You're not what?
Oh no, yeah, it's pretty far.
Oh,
Yeah,
is it?
I think like I think because like me, Chris, and Jord are constantly jamming. Like to add one person's fine, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
You know
Yep.
what I mean at the end, but like to just have a band like fly together and practice for a week. It's it's pretty big cop out, you know, for bands. Like
Yeah. Yep.
I find like I don't know, it's almost it makes no sense. Like to
Yeah.
me,
Yep.
like are you a band or are you not? Like just
Yep.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
do you like playing music or do you just like not practicing and going up and dancing around on stage, you know, like
Yep.
trying to get attention, you know, or money? I
Yep.
think there has to be some kind of like dedication to me, you know,
Yep.
and otherwise, like I don't really see why it's happening, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Oh.
so often, like we'll see bands, you get there, you can tell they didn't practice, didn't put much time in, don't, you know?
Yep.
Uh, Half the time it doesn't really matter, but at the same time, like I feel ripped off, like as a listener or a concert goer, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Oh well, I like I've even talked about bands on here that I've seen live, and I've just gone, well, that was just big pile of shit. And that
Yeah,
was just my honest opinion. It might have been not so much that they didn't practice, or there was just no stage presence, or whatever. And I suppose, as you were saying, you guys jam together all the time. You've got to have that chemistry as well. I mean, you've got to have that thing on stage as well. Like, um, I remember when I saw you guys, we always laugh at the story about seeing you guys in New Zealand, your last trip there, and we always claimed that you were stalking us, because I first saw you in the street in Wellington, New Zealand, and I just arrived in the country. I've been in the country for about um, I reckon about an hour. I'd flown, and I was waiting outside my hotel, and you guys walked past, and I got a selfie just for the boys to say, "Oh, look, just arrived in the country. I've just made some friends, and then I send off to the boy." So, the good thing about the Propagandi gig was that there was a group of us that was brought up on the Fat Records, and some of us hadn't seen each other for 20 years. So we'd all planned to do this trip to go and come and see you in Wellington, and then we were going to Auckland. So we saw
All right.
you. We saw you in Wellington the first night, and then we jumped on the plane in the morning, and then of course you guys were at the airport on the same plane. And I ran into Chris as he was going into the toilet, and I was coming out, and he was like, "Oh, what'd you think of the show?" And I was like, "Oh man, it was so hot in that place." And then we met Jord and the bloody security thing, and my mate Tim was going. He was like, "Are you guys going to play this? Are you guys going to play that?" Sort of, And Jord's like, "Oh, we don't play our old stuff now because it's too fast for me." And we're like, the new stuff's more technical. How does that work? Uh, and then we end up get down to our hotel, and there you were in the same hotel. So it was nice
All
of you
right.
guys to follow us on tour. And the only song I wanted to hear on that trip that I didn't hear was the Bangers Embrace, because
Oh
was that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because was that a story about you and Chris going to see a band?
Yeah, our favorite band, Sacrifice. Yeah, an old kind of Canadian thrash band.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
We went to Toronto to see them. They were gone for like 20 years, and then came back and just like they came back full storm, like truly killer.
yeah, yeah. And
Actually, I did just last month. I did the cover for their next upcoming
oh
record, so
wow, wow.
took
Oh,
me
so
forever.
so they're still so they're still back playing now. They didn't just come back and do a welcome back tour and then disappear again.
No, yeah, they've been back for like I guess maybe 15 years now. Yeah,
Yeah, wow, wow.
they're the best. Like I like them a lot more than all the other thrash bands. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so
every
so from
all
so sorry.
all of them.
Yeah, yeah, all of them. But that's why I wanted that song, because it was the same sort of thing that there was mates there that I hadn't seen in 20 years. I was like, "Oh, we're all on this trip to come and see, you guys." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I think I actually said it, Chris, is this on the list?" He's like, "Nah, definitely not."
Oh no, that's too bad. Yeah.
Ah, yeah. I mean, you guys could probably do what is it, a Rolling Stone sort of gig now, at least 2 hours. You got your catalog's pretty good. You know, I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, it's too long for us. We're
Yeah,
done.
no.
Who cares? No one cares.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on, Tom. We still care. We still care. I So yeah, so I mean, after to today's Empire, there was a 7 year gap. Was it just like a time where you went, well, we've got all these songs. Well, what are we going to do? What was the story with the 7 year gap? Was there?
Right now, you mean?
No, no, no. Between today's Empire and supporting cast, it was 7 or 8
Oh,
years.
oh, no, because there's between there was Potemkin City Limits.
Oh yeah, I've missed that one. Yeah, sorry, that was
Yeah.
in. Oh, I have too.
There's the Gap
Oh,
building.
there's the gap. So we'll cut that out. um, yeah, sorry. And then you went on to like as I was saying, and then after that, farewell states in 2012. When
Yeah.
does when does Serling come into it? Does she come in before Victory Lap?
Yep. But Beaver was there. David Gillis
Yep.
Beaver. He was there on from uh, supporting cast,
Oh,
and
okay.
then
Yep.
and huh? Oh yeah, and failed states. Yeah,
Yep.
and then and he actually plays a little bit of guitar on Victory Lap as well.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yep. Did he just decide that he wasn't interested anymore, or was he just like a ring-in?
He kind of like didn't like touring much, so
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
he became a teacher. Yeah, so he's doing his thing. He's he lives actually just I walk past his house every single day of my life actually. He
Okay.
lives just a couple blocks from here,
Yeah,
which is
and does he pop round and come jam, or is he not even interested anymore?
not really. He's got a different band called Agassi. It's like
Okay.
really good, and yeah, it's with Derek, who used to run G7 with Chris, record label.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, he lives just over here too. So
Oh wow.
yeah, we're all pretty close in distance here.
Yep. Yep. Um.
Actually, I'm going out for supper with Hope tonight.
Oh.
He just got back from a trip, and that's the drummer of Beast Band. So
Yeah.
go hear how
Okay.
his trip was.
Well, well, you must feel pretty well if you're pretty close. Do you ever do like like little shows there without announcing there's a show, or not? Doesn't
No,
happen.
no, too much of a hassle, to practice all your stuff, get all your gear there, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
then whatever. What are you gonna play for your 10 friends that you're tired of?
Oh, come on, there'd be more than 10. Hey, so
Same
so so
bad
what
side.
so what's been on the plans? I mean, it has been the thing that scares me here, Todd, is that it's been what 2017 since Victory Lap. The world's gone completely crazy since
Yeah, no kidding.
2017. I mean, I'm wondering what propaganda is going to bring out next. I mean, we've had COVID, we've had there's that many wars, we've even had a assassination attempt apparently, um, whatever you want to call it. So, where are you guys right now with anything? Are you just writing? Are you recording? Are you sneaking
Uh,
something?
yeah, we're recording a new record as we speak. Yeah,
Yep.
Jord laid down killer drums, and then Chris is putting some guitar on it as we speak. He's probably in his basement doing it right now.
Oh, sweet.
And
So,
then,
so you're doing it all at Chris's, and then are you
well,
remastering?
we're doing most of it at Private Ear where we did the last record.
Yep.
Chris is just doing his guitars at his house just so he can kind of keep at it
Yep.
because it's summer. So JP, who does our record, he's like he can only be there like 3 days a week. So
Oh,
we're kind
okay.
of doing little pieces. Yeah. So
Yep.
he takes his family, I don't know where, to the beach or something. And
Yep.
then but it's
Yep.
working out good for us because it's just this I don't know. We just like to do things on this snail's pace. So
Yep. Yep. As there so what do we expect in this album? Is it going to be a typical Propagandi album, or are we going different direction again?
we
We're
always are going somewhere. Yeah,
yeah.
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 I think there's cool things on this record. Like from my perspective, it's I would say the one I like the best.
Oh, what out of the whole lot of them?
Yeah, I would say yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we
And
had a really good time making all the songs, and they're going just trying a bunch of different things that are going really well.
yeah.
Like I always kind of thought, from my perspective, I always not always, but I was kind of thinking like if it was like I just thought we could have more. Uh, I don't know. There's just some things I thought were kind of could do better, and now I think
Oh,
we
from
are.
the last one, from Victory Lap.
From every time, you know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
It just I just feel like yeah, we locked into some different things that I really appeal to me. So
Yep. And I've said this a lot on the show, Todd, is that bands that I listened to in the 90s, it's very hard for me to enjoy anything that they've done in the last probably 15, 20 years. You know,
yeah,
they're all just gone like this. The biggest one for me is probably NoFX. I've heard, I saw them at the start of the year on their final tour in Australia, and then
right.
I was like, oh yeah, and then you hear, oh, they're going to bring out another album or two. I'm not, and I'm like, no, cut it. You're done. You've done nothing good for 15 years. And yet we have you guys, I think every year every album it just keeps going, because it's not just because I am a fan, because I'm a fan of NoFX and the Green Days.
Right.
maybe I'm not on that. Maybe I'm just too old and just don't get it. But for me, I don't hear a progression like I have in Propagandhi at all. As I've said at the start, a lot of people that have been on the show would class you guys as the most progressive punk band because there's always something different, but it's always better.
Yeah, I think it really just comes down to like whether the band is jamming a lot and they're like interacting with each other,
Y- Yep,
or if the band is just like if you just have your song and you're like, I'll show you what I'm playing at the studio and you add your parts and then you know what I mean?
yep,
Like if we were to do that, it wouldn't turn out very well. So I assume for other people it's probably similar, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Like where our songs start in the first little bit of jamming, like if that was the end, like it'd be pretty disappointing.
yep, yep,
It's like anything. Like to me, like to get good to try to do something good, you have to work at it.
yep,
Like I don't know why music would be any different.
yep,
Like
yep,
it like it's just that. Like, do you want to do it or do you not want to do it? Like, do you want to make
yeah,
songs and try really hard and be a band or not? Like are people interested or are they not? Like
yep,
just decide or you don't have to decide really. Like people are gonna listen and buy it and go to the shows whether it turns out or not, but
yep,
just for your own sake.
yep,
Yeah, I think it's just practice and have fun. Like that's why you want to play music, so do it.
yep, yep. The are you bringing it out on Epitaph or are we going elsewhere this time?
Yeah, I think Epitaph seems like it. Yeah.
Yep, yep. And how many songs we got down? How many we looking at?
Well, we have 14 that we're gonna record. We have like drums tracked for 8 of them so far, and then we're kind of like, yeah, we'll do, yeah. I like them all too.
Yep.
Just every time we play a song, I'm like, oh yeah, this one's killer. Then Snag look on the next one on the list. Oh yeah, I like this one. Next one. Oh, yeah.
And do we have a date? Do we looking at early next
Uh,
year, middle of next year?
yeah, I would say. Yeah, I would say.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is gonna go on for a while
yeah.
because like we can't finish Jord's drums until like the end of September or something
Oh,
because
okay.
that's the next time like we can get into the studio because there's like in the studio like JP already had these projects booked that are pretty
Oh,
long.
yeah. Yep.
He's doing some like I can't even remember who cares really, but like he's
Yep.
doing some long like project of
Yeah, yeah.
some giant magnitude for the orchestra or something, you know what I mean?
Oh,
So
okay.
it's
Well, yeah. So you guys sort of get to fit in wherever they're not that's not happening. Is that how it works? Or you just go, no, well, we'll go with the end.
yeah, that's pretty much what's happening. Because when we asked him if we could do it, like he was like, "Well, I'm already booked this, and this, but
Yep.
we can try to like do it in these little 3-day increments, and then
Yeah.
come back later." And we're like, "Yeah, sure. Well, who cares? Yeah, we're just,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's summer. Like, what do we care if we're recording or we're out on the beach?
At the
You know?
beach. Do you have a beach there? Are you close to the ocean or you got a lake?
We have lakes. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have a ton of lakes. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we have to drive like usually like an hour to get to each one, but
Oh
it's
well.
all right.
Oh, yeah. Just down the road. Um now I have a question here from my I do have a co-host. He's only done one show with me. He's only just started, but it's way past his bedtime. What I says to ask you, where's your favorite place to play in Australia?
Oh, let's see. Maybe Melbourne for some reason.
Oh, is
I don't
is
know.
is
Uh,
that because it is like the music capital of Australia, or is there just a different
I guess, you know what I mean? Like,
is it a different vibe in Melbourne to like let's just say Sydney?
this is just like, you know what I mean? Just whatever, you know what I mean? I just know that we've had a bunch of shows there that were good.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, like I
So
wouldn't say like you get to Sydney and suddenly you're like, I hate these people, and then you get to, you know what I mean? It's just
Then you get to Brisbane and
like
go,
they're all
"Oh,
good, you know?
I hate those guys down in Sydney." And you
Oh, I
get to
think you're
Sydney.
frozen in time.
Yeah, it sounds like Blink because they when they come here, they just pay it out
Hello,
every
hello.
city. They just just like, oh no, we didn't like that city. Oh, and then the next one, no, we don't like them. And, they're just trying to like the competition against each
Yeah, yeah.
city. I was like, oh, tuggers. Um, so is it going to be a tour for this album? And when I say that loosely, I'm talking 2026.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we'll be back out there rocking
Yep.
it up.
Yep, you're
I'm
gonna come
pretty
down.
sure.
You're gonna come down. Down this way. Down under.
Oh yes, I'm
Definitely.
pretty sure we will. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we love going there.
What you like coming down here?
Yeah, yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. Do you get a choice of where to play, or do you just give it to a tour company and go, "We're coming, we want this and that and that and that," or do they just go, "This is where you can play"? How does it work?
In Australia,
Yeah.
well, we have Blue Murder doing it, so
Yeah.
yeah, they just kind of book the shows. You know, like we always find if we get our little hands in it, it just turns into a mess. So we just let them do it. You know.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
because it always blows my mind, and I don't know if I've asked this question that where like I'm in Western Australia, and 99% of touring bands don't come this far. It's a huge leap. It's too far away from you know, everyone sort of decides not to come this far. But as I said, I travelled to see you guys in New Zealand, but what blows me away is that when they play in New Zealand, they only play in the North Island. So you got Wellington or Auckland, but
right,
yet half the Wellington gig is half from the South Island.
right, okay,
So everyone's traveling up to Wellington to come to the gig. I'm like, why doesn't anyone just do and because for me, it doesn't probably cost any more to go from Auckland to Wellington than it does to Auckland to Christchurch.
right, right,
So,
right.
so, so
Uh,
I know I'm just throwing it at. I'm just saying.
yeah,
It's just a weird scenario when you put Propagandi in Christchurch and it's sold out probably before Auckland.
right, yeah. Yeah, these are good questions. I don't know the answer. That's just, I guess it's the same here, like we'll see like bands go to Minneapolis, like everywhere around Winnipeg, Minneapolis,
Yeah,
Calgary, Edmonton. Oh no, Winnipeg, yeah, thanks.
no, yeah, no, that's too hard going there, and that's what I get here in Australia, like in West Australia. But I mean, we are the most isolated city in the world, so you
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
you
We've
know
been there a couple times.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you did because if you had come last time, I reckon I would have gone to the Perth. If you had come to Perth, I would have gone to Perth, and then I would have gone again, Wellington and Auckland.
Oh, right on. Yeah, cool.
Just
Yeah,
just
hopefully we can
because,
get there next.
well, the really hard thing there, Todd, was that was to me that was the beginning of us boys starting something from your
Right.
from your show. It was like, right, let's do this for every band that we all like. So
Oh, right
pretty
on.
much
Cool.
right after we had Lagwagon come through the next year. And we were all like, let's do this again. So here I am booking flights to New Zealand, blah, blah,
Cool.
blah. And then COVID. Like literally that
Oh,
week.
shit.
Like that week. I was flying out on the Wednesday and the boys were going, can you still fly out on the Monday? I go, yep, my flights are still good. I'm all good. They're cancelling flights from from Sydney, but not from Perth. And I'm like, no, I'm all good. And then the next day it was like, nah, we're not coming. I think Lagwagon weren't even allowed to play in Adelaide when they just landed. They were not allowed to play that night. So
Oh, shit.
yeah, so it was just like, and it hasn't happened again. We
Yeah.
haven't had that opportunity to start it again to try and get that momentum because we had such the best time. It was just a really good trip with the boys. Seeing I remember just being in the pit and just I was grinning like I just
Yeah,
want
right on.
like I just want to lie, because here I was with my mates and I'm just like going crazy. It was just madness. It was like the best boys trip. It was just funny. It was just funny. And then you guys were like stalking us and stuff, which probably made it a little bit better. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's how me and Chris were at that sacrifice show.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
just in the front row, just so happy.
Yeah.
He's like clutching my arm, like taking his
I love
fingers.
you. I love you. That's so good. It was quite funny because I knew the first song and from being in Wellington, I knew what the first song was going to be in Auckland. And I was at the back and we were just standing there and I literally just started running. Like
All right.
I'm only a little fella and the boys really I just disappeared. I just rammed my head down, just made a gap. And then here I am at the front, just going mad. It was just brutal. It was probably one of my best gigs that I've been to. It was
All right.
it was
That's,
great. It was great. It was great to finally see a band that I've been following for what 25 years. It was you were just probably better than I ever thought that you would be. So it was great.
oh, thanks, yeah.
It was
Yeah,
fantastic.
that's fun, man. That's fun. There's to me like you see all the bands, but when you see the bands you really like, it's
Yep.
so amazing. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Like,
Yep.
when you're like, holy shit. Like I just like from my experience being in the crowd,
Yeah.
like looking up, you're looking up there and you're like, this is that guy. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is that guy from my record. There he is
Yeah.
right there.
That's it. And
That's
the
pretty cool.
and the good thing is, Todd, is that you're always told. And I'm not a guy that I'm not a fan guy, so I'm not a guy that goes, "Oh my God, look, it's them." You know,
Yeah.
it was the fact that when we did bump into you guys were genuinely just normal guys. You know,
Yeah.
we were talking. I was talking to Chris like a normal, like, "Hey, how was the gig?" It wasn't like "Oh, don't talk to me" sort of thing because I'm in a band. You know, it was like you guys were just genuinely nice blokes, and I think that's probably what made our experience a lot better was the fact that we didn't have that I've heard a lot of is like, "Oh yeah, I met him and he was just an asshole." And I was
Yeah.
like, I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, okay," and I talk about propaganda. Oh yeah, they were on the plane and we were in the airport and we were at the hotel and we just laughed when we walked down and saw you just at the checkout. We're like, "Oh my God, you're stalking us."
Yeah.
uh, hey,
uh,
good times, Todd.
you stayed,
Good.
yeah. So that hotel was kind of like an orange hotel, eh? Some little orange hotel.
Yeah, it was tiny. It
On
was
the beach.
quite tall and skinny in Auckland. It was weird. It was only literally like 250 meters away from the
Yeah.
actual gig.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
good because we just walked. When I book stuff, I'd make sure that I can walk home. I don't want to
Yeah.
jump in a taxi or a Uber or whatever,
Yeah.
or have to drive. I like to know that I'm right there. I can get there by my feet. And then there's no worries, and I think that happens at every gig now. I just make sure I'm like pretty much out the door and I'm there. Best way to be.
Yeah, that was a pretty nice spot, hey? Like that little area.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Because there was heaps of fooderies around as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, I thought Perth was super nice too. I went for a walk. I was drawing stuff up on the kind of cliffs and stuff.
yeah, up
Yeah,
like Kings Park, is it? Where you would
probably.
be?
Yeah,
Yeah, and you
sounds.
look down over the city.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it's quite
yeah,
nice up there. Like Perth's it's a very pretty city. Like
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
it's quite clean and it's West Australia is quite a rich state.
Oh
Compared
yeah,
to compared to the rest of the states, it pretty much I always say it runs the country. But Perth's very very clean and tidy, and it's actually a pretty city.
yeah. I like in Australia and stuff. Like the trees. Like I like the different. Like they have totally different shapes than the trees here. Like
Yeah,
trees here are just kind of like long with a cluster of leaves. Like none of
yeah.
them really. There's not really too many truly interesting shapes of trees.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. So they're all pretty
They're like,
straight, like on like the Lorax. Is it the Lorax where they're all the same looking trees?
yeah, probably, yeah, yeah. Like they're all right trees, but you know what I mean. Like you get to
Yeah,
Australia and they're all winding all over the place.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And Perth is crazy. Like we've got like there's so many open spaces in Perth, which is pretty cool. And they've got, as you were saying, they've got so many different trees. But then you go there at those weird. I'm trying to say the jacarandas. Are they the purple ones? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I drive down to Perth, and next to me you got all these purple trees, and it's just like someone's gone through and just painted the place purple. It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
and I suppose that's the same when I go home to New Zealand as well. Was that we don't have the cold weather here like we do in New Zealand. So we don't really get the fall. We don't get the massive change in spring, like the different colors in the leaves and all that.
Yeah. Okay.
Where I am here, and because I'm 4 hours north of Perth, is that it's pretty much the only thing that we have is it's green or it's brown. Once it gets to summer, we're in 45 degrees right through till, winter. And here I am, Todd, I'm all wrapped up and I'm cold and it's 18 degrees. It's winter.
Yeah. Well, hey.
Yeah, crazy. Hey, Todd, I don't want to keep you for too much longer, but there's one thing that we have to go out on the show, and because I am a baker,
Oh,
what is your favorite bakery product if you were to walk into a bakery?
if I was to walk into a bakery,
Yeah.
I guess I prefer pie over cake.
Oh, what sort of pie?
Let's see. Maybe some kind of chocolate mousse or something. I
Oh,
like Black Forest cake too.
Black Forest, nice. Nice.
Pretty
If
good.
anyone asks us to make a Black Forest, we all goes, do we have to make that? That's it's not hard, but it's too much work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just take something else out of the cabinet.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Uh, I don't know. I kind of most things are pretty good, I suppose. Yeah.
yeah.
What's your specialty?
Oh, well, see, if when I get asked a question, what's my favorite bakery product? I'm just a plain pie, you know. I'm just a
Okay,
plain
yeah.
pie. Yeah. And I hear a lot, most of the answers are
What's playing like?
just a meat pie. And you guys are vegetarians and stuff, so you wouldn't have meat pies.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I guess I was thinking fruity and stuff. Yeah, I
Oh,
never
okay,
even.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, hey, it can be anything out of a bakery,
I,
but most of the people on the show who come on from like America and Canada, it's always a croissant
okay, yeah.
is the main answer I get.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there is croissants in Winnipeg, but
No, no. Well, there's not that many here. Like we don't even make them at work. I mean, we have them,
yeah.
but we're a bakery, but we actually buy them in.
Okay. Yeah.
It's probably cheaper to buy them in than to actually make them because the process into making a croissant it's not just a whip it up and get it done. It's a process, and it can be a 2-day process.
Okay,
So
yeah.
so for us to do it for to sell probably 6 or 12 a day, it's not worth it.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
How
it's
many uh how many pies a day do you sell?
Oh, it depends. One day we sold 400 not that
Holy
long ago.
shit.
So
Oh
pretty
yeah.
so it is a pretty busy bakery, but
Okay.
it's a standard Aussie bakery, It's actually called Aussie Bakery. Aussie pastries it's called. But we sell things like donuts and cakes and slices and just basic stuff. But then there's the other side where for me it goes away from the bakery, so it becomes more like a takeaway. So then there's like hamburgers, there's chips, there's all that sort of stuff, and then there's salad bar as well. But probably the one thing that you would like would be a spinach and ricotta sausage roll
That's,
because I've got
except for, like that wouldn't be vegan ricotta though, would it?
yeah, it is.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay.
I've got a mate who's a vegan, and he comes in and that's what
Oh,
he
yeah.
gets.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, or a pasty, a vegetarian pasty. So
Right on. Yeah,
yeah,
sounds
yeah,
good.
yeah. So they're actually one of our best sellers.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. We're
It's like
the yeah.
500 a day.
Oh, not quite that many. Not quite that many. But definitely the big items for the vegans and that come in, and the vegetarians, they're the straight two. There's only really two things apart from the salads, but in that pastry sort of side of thing. But we are talking about doing uh, a vegetarian pie.
Oh yeah, right on.
Yeah, which is going to be like with broccoli and collie and stuff like that. Because they do like a roast sort of thing, and we look at it and go, we should put the broccoli and collie and make a pie, because our vegetarian stuff does sell very, very well. But we still haven't got there yet, Todd.
Yeah. Well, there you go. It's a good task for this week.
Yeah, no, that's again sounds like too much hard work.
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
exactly.
Todd, you've been an absolute legend. Look forward. So do you reckon you'll drop a song or two when you get a song or two done, or are we just gonna have to wait for a full album to drop? What's the story?
Well, yeah, good question. I don't know, but we actually did play a couple of them live not too long ago in
Oh,
Winnipeg. We're doing a benefit for yeah, Palestine, and then
yeah,
yeah, we played a couple of new songs just for our
yeah.
own enjoyment mostly, and yeah, so yeah, if you they're somewhere out there in the world, and
Oh, so I might find some video footage if I go hunting.
yeah, exactly, and
Oh,
like Chris has this Patreon that he does, and I think he might be putting them up on there too, also
yep,
to continue to for the benefit also. So
yep,
if you can find that,
yep.
yeah, they should be there pretty soon, but they're kind of they've already been changed since we always are
Oh,
changing our they've already been changed a little bit since the show. So
yeah, yeah. No.
people it'll be that thing where people will, if they've watched it a few times, will get used to it, then they'll like that version better than the new version.
Well, yeah, yeah. Well, but I
Always
mean,
happens.
but it's like anything. It's like when you play live, songs are always slightly changing anyway.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, we played them pretty good. So
yeah. Ah,
I was
good.
surprised. It's like, okay, yeah, zero
We,
mistakes for my department.
but Chris, he stuffed up, the
Yeah,
chorus and stuff like
I,
that. Geordie,
yeah,
I don't
I
know what
haven't
he was doing.
I haven't listened back to see how those guys played it, but yeah, I don't remember any mistakes. But I
And
remember being done like, okay, there we go, no mistakes.
yeah, and do you ever record the live show? Like,
uh,
so you can go back and listen to see what it sounded like, or
oh yeah, yeah, we have
yeah.
a bunch of times. Yeah, I never end up doing it. You know what I mean? Who wants to sit there and listen to a show they just played?
I don't know. I don't know. Well, that's what I was saying. You were just saying there was no mistakes. I was like, oh, maybe they just might record some shows and go, oh, hang on a sec. Hang on a sec,
Yeah,
Todd. Hang on a sec, Todd. You missed something there, mate. You're a bit out there.
well, kind of, if like it's almost like unless you're just listening for like the speed of the songs or to hear if your vocals are being delivered all right.
Yeah.
But like usually after the show, you know which mistakes you made, so there's no point like listening.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'll listen, it'll sound fine until this moment. You know that moment's all you know that moment's
Yeah.
coming, right? It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you like I don't know if I need to really hear that
I don't
again.
want to hear that. No.
So it's
Uh,
like, yeah, all it is like it's yeah, more of a mistake listening party. So it's like
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's planned for the rest of the day?
Me, I'm gonna work on my bass.
Yep.
And as keep plugging away on my guitar too.
Nice.
I see Chris has been sending me 20 messages since I've been talking to you. That little
Oh,
bell that goes.
I tell him I said
But he
hello.
has been sending me. Okay, yeah, for sure.
Tell
And
him
then
stop. Just go. I remember those guys that we were stalking in New Zealand.
yeah, 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 for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I did
Yeah.
send him those messages to get him on here with you, but
I know it's all
we're
good. It's all
we're
good. I was stoked that you come on.
we're a very loosely organized organization.
It's good. It's good. That's the best way to be. You don't want to be too straight and narrow. You got to have your own freedom, I suppose. The what was I going to say? Oh, so do you do the artwork at all on your covers? That's what I was meant to ask you before.
Failed states, I did, and then we
Yep.
did actually a split. 7, no, split, yeah, split 7 inch, I think, with Sacrifice. I did the
Yep.
cover of that too, and that is it for that.
Yep. So you didn't do support alting cast at all.
No, that was this guy Kent Monkman. Yeah, that's really actually that the cover of that record is actually a huge painting.
Yeah,
Like a
okay. Yeah.
really, really huge painting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's cool.
that's too much work for me, that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Nah, fantastic. Again,
put
Todd,
one shitty guy instead of 100 good ones.
one shitty guy. I actually had to look at your stuff today because I thought, oh, I'm gonna have a look, and I was like, oh, I've never looked at your stuff, and it's actually pretty cool.
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
Do you have an online gallery or anything, or do you just
If you went to ArtStation and
Yep.
typed my name, it might come up, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sweet.
I don't, besides that, nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just kinda do it and whatever.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff I don't put anywhere at all, really.
Oh, okay, just for yourself.
Yeah, just whatever, screwing around, having fun.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. All right, Todd. I gotta get going. I'm gonna go and
All right.
I've got a photograph a music festival tomorrow, and it's not a
All
punk
right.
and it's not a punk one or anything exciting. It's a I think it's like a techno.
All
Um,
right.
so I think I'll have my earbuds in, and I'll be listening to my music, pretending I'm at the ravey sort of thing, taking
Yeah, well,
photos.
you have fun there.
Yeah. Too easy,
That'll
Todd.
be fun. Hopefully we'll see you down there again sometime
Mate,
soon.
I guarantee you that you will see me in the crowd for sure, and I'll just make sure you don't stalk me as much this time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and we'll have our eye on you. Make sure you do.
Too easy, Todd. You've been legend. This has been episode number 50 here on the Bakers Punk
Uh,
Podcast.